All right, guys. This is DJ Wolf, and this is the first live podcast I've did in over 2 years. I really did not want to do or have to come to this podcast to talk about this. It's devastating news. I was actually on my way to work this morning, and my brother-in-law called me just around 7 o'clock. So I was trying to find a quiet place to pull over because he told me to pull over. He said, "I got to talk to you." So when I finally pulled over, he told me one of the most devastating news I've heard in 3 years. That this morning my sister had passed away from cancer. Now, we knew about it for the last few months that she was suffering. Unfortunately, she never recovered. And I had to reach out to you guys because I know you are, at least my subs, are the most gracious of subs that I've ever had of any of my platforms. And this reminded me of what happened 3.5 years ago. My dad, who also died from cancer, and he had, when I heard about his, I was actually 3/4 of the way to work. I ended up going to work and worked the rest of the day, and ended up flying out to Ohio that Sunday. This morning, after my brother talked to me for about 20 minutes, and I called my mother and I called my brother. I was just so devastated this morning. I couldn't even bring myself to go into work. I just couldn't do it. I wasn't even a third of the way. I wasn't even halfway. I had drove 10 minutes, not 10 minutes from the house. And I said, I better go back home and sit down and reflect and talk about this. This was extremely devastating news to me and my family because we just lost our father 3 years ago to another form of cancer, and now this. She was only 55. I'm really did not expect her to go at such a young age. And I know some people are going to say it's 55 is not old. I mean, 55 is not young. But 55, let me stop this, I'm sorry. 55 is not a old age. It's actually young compared to older persons, older than 60. You know. And we had, for the most part, a very close relationship as an older brother to a younger sister. We had our good times. We had our bad times. We had a fun time. Family. And right now, the only thing I can think of is the good times that we had. You know, over the years, it was a little rocky for various reasons I don't want to talk about right now. But I do miss her, man. I miss her smile. I'm not gonna lie, I even sometimes miss her sarcasm. But she had a good heart. And she really was a good person. And, I know you guys probably say, well, you don't sound like you devastated. I am. You know, they always say certain people take grieving a certain way. You know, some of us take it heavy. Some of us don't take it as heavy. But you're still grieving. That's one reason I didn't go to work today. I just couldn't go. I just could not go. I really couldn't. It was just heavy on my mind. I think this affected me a little differently than it did when I lost my father. My father, we knew for a while that he had prostate cancer. We just found out about my sister's condition just a couple of months ago. Although she had struggled with health issues over the years, but never anything like this. And I don't even know what to say about it. She didn't really want to talk about it. We conversed within the last 2 months rather. And she didn't really want to talk about it, and I didn't press her to talk about it. I just wanted her to get well, and I told her, I just want you to get well. Don't worry about nothing. Just take care of yourself. Take care of your health. We don't even need to even go over it, what was in the past or anything like that. Just take care of yourself. That's all I was concerned with. I really did. Because it does hurt. It hurts that you lose anybody you know, especially family. You know. There was only 3 of us in my family. My sister, myself, and my mother. You know. I had an older brother. My core family. So now it's just me and my brother. You know. But my sister will always be in our hearts. It's just something that just hits you and never lets you go. I'm still reeling from the passing of my father. 3.5 years later. You know. I haven't gotten over it. I don't think I think when you lose somebody, you never really ever get over it. People say you get, no, you don't. You never, never, ever, never do. And it's just one of those times that you got to face up to dealing with. You know, I was telling my brother earlier because he was mourning. They were very close. Now, me and my sister were close, but him and my sister had a really special bond. Her being the older sibling to him, he was the youngest. And he's devastated. My mother, who I talked to earlier, was okay, and then I called her a little while ago. She was devastated. You know, I had to stay strong for the family through her father's passing, so I'm gonna do the same thing for my sisters. It's tough, man. You know, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let you guys go. If you have any, and this is for me personally, if you have any beefs or stuff like that with your family, man, squash that mug, eat some humble pie, talk to them, hug them, tell them you love them. I'm glad that I was able to do that when we did talk. You know, I'm glad I was able to do that. I really was. I wish I had done a little more. You know. But you can only do so much of leaving the rest in God's hands. And people talk about religion is this, religion is that. This is the reason, things like this is the reason why religion is important. It's very important for all of us to keep our sanity. To be honest, guys and gals, it is. You know, religion is no. Maybe some of the business in this, but the spirituality part, where you talk about morals in the Bible and all that, that is 100% real. It's very real, folks. It is. It talks about life and death and everything in between. It's real. It is. We have to keep that perspective, folks. You know? The thing is, live, we do what we need to do, and then at some point we have to move on, whether we want to or not, at the end of the day. Just do the right thing while you're out there. And do the right thing by your family, you know. Even if you hadn't talked to them a couple of years like I did. Make sure you get a hold of them. Because you never know when that's the last time you talk to them. You know. Believe me, I'm devastated. I'm actually at the point right now, I was like I was a few years ago. I didn't want to talk to anybody. You know, I have to talk to my family. But I didn't really want to talk to anybody else, to be honest. I didn't. I made one call or 2 calls working, one to one of my colleagues and one to my manager. And I had to call her later, but, you know. I had to talk to my son before he headed off to work, and I talked to my wife when she was at work. You know. It just hit me like a ton of bricks, man. I knew at some point it was coming. I didn't think it was going to come this soon. I thought she'd be able to beat it. And unfortunately, she couldn't. I'm sad about it. I am. Sometimes it's hard to stay strong when you're feeling down and sad. You don't know where else to turn to but to God. That's all there is to it, folks. You know? At the end of the day, He's all we got. Seriously. At least for me. I don't know about you, but for me, He's all I got. In terms of talking, praying, you know. It's a hard road to toe, man. And losing a loved one is really hard. It's very hard. It's devastating. It's something that at some point you'll move on, but you'll never. You'll always, somewhere in the back of your mind, in the back of your heart, you're going to always feel that. But you do have to move on at some point. I will say that. You know, it's the time to heal all wounds. It does for the moment. Every once in a while, you know, you think about it. And then it heals. And then you think about it. And it heals again. And then you think about it. And so on and so forth. You know. My sister was a very smart woman. You know. She was a manager, a commissary, always good with math, very intelligent, you know, always got good grades. And I'm not saying it as shade, I'm just saying it because I was a proud brother of the things that she did. She raised 3 beautiful kids. And I'm going to always be proud of that. But I'm definitely going to miss her. With that, folks, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this. Hug your family, man. If you don't see them, call them. If they don't write to you, write back. If you can't get them on the phone, text them. Do what you got to do to keep in touch with your family. Even though you may not be as close as you once was. Keep that line of communication with your family open. That's one of the only ways I've ever gotten through that. If I could have been a dick and not, want to talk to anybody. And at some point I was like that. But I also learned that you have to keep the line of communication open. Family is all you got at the end of the day. Good, bad, indifferent, or whatever. You got to. And it hurts. I'm going to be hurt until the service. Whenever they have it. I'm hurt now. Right now, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't. And this is not about wallowing in pity. But I'm mourning. I really am mourning. You know, it may not sound like it, but I am. You know, I was a family. Should always be family, but it won't be the same. So my baby sister, I love you, and I always will. I'm out.